Alright, so the way that you have to work around getting to being rich is first you have to start with a certain amount of money to actually be able to live. It doesn't have to be a huge amount. Like, honestly, you could probably get it nowadays in most wealthy countries by just working a minimum wage job, and then you can just eat like lentils and peanut butter and be frugal, live in a one room basement suite with 3 other people as roommates, like literal roommates, like you all like share beds or something like that. I think you could live with a minimum wage job, maybe 10 hours a week, maybe less. And then what you do is, it's not fun to do that, but then you got to find some sort of way to make long-term income. So short-term income, McDonald's, Wendy's, I don't care, some sort of small job. And then once you have enough money to survive, you start to save a little bit so that you could quit when you need to. And maybe, probably about $5,000 should be enough, maybe 10,000. And then you can start making your business, because a business is how you make millions and billions of dollars. And the business will obviously probably take about 10 years to get off the ground and start making any income. So until then, you just have to have enough money to survive. 10 years, so not worrying about inflation. Each month, you could probably live off of $500 to $1,000 if you had 3 roommates. So let's just say $1,000. You can probably live. That's $12,000 a year. And then that's $120,000 is how much money you need to have in total from short-term work. So once you have short-term work, you can do medium-term work in order to get a little bit more money. So you could try Fiverr, you could try ACX, getting maybe audiobook. If you have a good voice, you can do audiobooks. You can just do little side gigs, but just try to just stick to one idea. Like, I'm gonna make videos for other people, I'm gonna edit videos, and then you go on Reddit and you drive that home. You make it so you're really great at making videos, and you make videos for people, and you get a small amount of money from that, so you can replace a job that is totally useless with a job that is at least somewhat useful. Because if you make videos for other people, then you will be slowly getting better at video editing. And video editing is great for marketing. And marketing is one of the pillars of having a business. So once you have that pillar of a business, you can expand it, you can grow it, you can spend the 10 years to make your business good enough to make money. And so you could be making content the whole time, like documenting what you're doing, documenting your life, whatever, and then you can get a small following of people. You could spend, I would recommend spending a couple years on a product. Like, for me, I'm making a website. You make a website for a couple of years, and make it really, really, really good, because the better the website is, the better the product is, the easier it'll be to market it. And then once the product is super duper duper good, it's gonna be about probably at least 2 times better than everyone else's in this specific niche. For a specific person, it has to be 2 times better. Ideally 3 or 4 times better. That would be nice. Once you got that, then you can start to tell people about it. I mean, okay, don't wait 4 years to start telling people about your idea. Just tell them immediately, because your idea sucks. It's totally useless. It's unoriginal. It doesn't matter what your idea is. It's a bad idea. Nobody cares about your idea. I don't care if you're Elon Musk, you don't have any crazy ideas, okay? Everyone else has already thought of it before, okay? The only thing that matters is execution. So go ahead, so you should tell everyone, or not everyone, but you should tell a couple people about your idea, put it out there, publish some videos maybe about it, or a blog post, or whatever you want to do. Write a book, I don't know, if you want to start writing books as your side gig, you can make a book about your business idea. And mostly just try to see, like, is anyone potentially interested in this? Is this maybe, does have an audience at all? Could I make money from this? And then once you finally, after, that's probably about 5 years in, okay? So 5 years in, you have the idea that people are saying it's good, you have a little audience, you have a little bit of savings, probably about 10 grand hopefully by then. And then you can go full out, work as much as you possibly can on making the actual idea. Execution, that'll take 3 years. Now you're 8 years in. You need to grow your audience the entire time, so keep making videos, keep making blog posts or books or whatever. And then finally, after you've served your 8-year sentence, you can push it out there. You publish it, and then you market it as much as you possibly can. But don't be a sellout. Don't alienate your audience. What you have to do is you have to prove to the audience that the product that you're giving them is worth way more than the amount that you're selling it for. So if you have a website and it's worth to an audience member probably as much as like a college course, and you're giving it to them for $1, then there you go. You can't be a sellout there. Like, that's crazy. Like, if it gave them the exact same goodness of a college course and they had to pay $1, whatever, man. Go ahead and go on YouTube and say, guys, you need to try this right now. And if that doesn't work, if you can't get organic reach, it's all good. Just use Google ads or whatever ads. Spend money to get some followers. It's not that hard. So then once you have the people, the audience, and the product made, and you've shown the people the product, that would probably take about 10 years, I think. Finally, you'll start generating some revenue, and you don't have to work on your short or medium term work anymore. So you can just quit, make millions of dollars, or maybe even just hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then if it fails and you only make like $100,000, do not splurge it. Don't spend it on anything. Just move on to the next idea. With the 100 grand, live and make the idea, and that's it. And then still keep your lifestyle. Yeah, I think that's probably it. So just to be super frugal, go through it'd probably take about 30 years before it's like, okay, why am I still failing here? Maybe 40 years is a limit where it's like, okay, maybe I was just never meant to be an entrepreneur, and then you can go and get your corporate job. But yeah, like if you're 20 years old, you work till you're 30, 40, 50, then you're 50 years old, your business finally succeeds a little bit, you can make a couple billion, doesn't matter. And you can be an absolute billionaire. And then what you do is, once you actually do succeed and your business makes millions of dollars, or hundreds of millions, whatever, you spend maybe like 0.1% of that to get a little bit of a better lifestyle. So $1 million, 0.1% of that's going to be $1,000. Some, maybe make more than $1 million. Maybe make hopefully like 100 million, and then you can spend 100 grand to buy a little, a little shed somewhere, probably in the middle of the desert. And once you have your shed in the middle of the desert, you actually own it. You don't have to pay rent anymore, and you can give all the rest to charity. And I think that's what life is really all about. Just working every single day, 24/7. Grinding a ton, working so hard like you don't even have hair anymore. You're just gonna go bald, in order to just spend all of it on charity, and then you'd have a good life. So you should do that. I will be eating a little bit more than lentils and peanut butter. I think I'm also gonna have eggs, so I will be splurging a little bit compared to that idea. But I know that idea, there's like, how are you not going to succeed if you do that, bro? Like, how are you going to fail if you spend that much time and that much effort? Like, that'd be ridiculous. So yeah, just do what I say and you'll be successful.